What's going on? Troy T. Cruikshank here with some more time to inspire the community about salvation. I'm hanging out in the area of soul science. And hanging out in the area of soul science, there is the description of how far out the spirituality is, as in compliment. Like, man, I was far out. Now, with this, there is a character in particular that comes to mind of the spirituality, where she has six stars on one side of her cranium and then six other stars on the other side of her cranium. Now, this is where my psychological studies, I first learned of the psychological description of the skull, that's weaponry of the brain, cranium. In my overall happening, I articulate that to say the character and the momentine that she plays within the spiritual was gave the honors at filling me in that skull is also identified as cranium. Now, I started my general education at St. Joseph's, and so pertaining to characters of the spirituality on my everyday were these two characters up front, Joseph and then Mary, Mother Mary, Holy Mary. Again, in the area of soul science, where we have the spirituality and the far outness that it is. And then where there is the character again, found in the spiritual of the Lord's Mother, Holy Mary, Mother Mary, where she has six stars on one side of her cranium, and then she has six other stars on the other side of her cranium. Now, in conclusion here, cranium, being in the area of soul science, where again, cranium is identified as skull, that's weaponry of the brain. I think about when going into my early elementary school years, coming from preschool and kindergarten, well, I knew of milk pertaining to my bottom with the milk within, and then it goes over into calcium that'll take us over to the skull, that will take us over into the identification of the cranium. Now, I didn't have all this to say terminology in bringing such terminology with me to my elementary school years, and getting on with learning of further identification of the skull that is cranium, but was well acquainted of the milk in my body, or the milk in my bottle, pertaining to where the newborn is getting their nutrition on. And so with this, that's pretty much all I brought with me to getting going with my junior education, early elementary school. That is after finishing preschool and kindergarten, and then started elementary school, where I learned by way of this character of the spirituality, that the skull is also identified as the cranium. I know about the milk in my bottle, but don't know just yet the terminology or English-wise of skull, milk doing the body good or doing the bones good, calcium in the bones, and then with the skull being part of the skeleton that is bone itself, weaponry of the brain, again, that is identified as cranium. The far outness that spirituality is, as in compliment, and that was far out. All right, I found this interesting and thought to present it. Best presentation, Lord, let it do what you may need to do, what you may want to do. In your son Jesus' name, I thank you for it and we receive. We thank you for it. All right, y'all. Until next time, for real. T. Cruikshank saying peace and gone.